Well, the January transfer window did not go as planned, to be 100% honest with you. I thought we would have the opportunity to move more players, and although I transfer listed quite a few of them, many of them for free transfers, hey, I'll let you guys have them for £0. The only player that moved was Najaz Jusufi, who went to Silex for £725. He was part of this year's youth intake, or he was a youth player who was 19 years old, rather. 1.5 star current ability, maybe 2.5 star potential ability. £725. You know, the fact I was able to move him for any sort of money was a bonus. Christian Stefanovsky, Mate Sikarski, and Besar Gajufi are the players that I had brought in after trial. Stefanovsky is a right side of the field player. He'll probably be playing defensive right back. I brought him as a backup for defensive right back and advanced midfielder on the right. You know, one of those. He'll do a job for us if we need him to. He's okay. There's some areas I wish he was better in, but that's probably going to be my tagline for this save for the foreseeable future. I have to go in and make a couple of changes here. So this is the cheetah skin. Try as I might, I could not figure out what I did to the tactics screen on the Cat 22 skin. And so what I may have to do is just save, or I saved my edited version. I may have to go to the copy of the skin that I have and just bring that in, and then bring over the panels and widgets that I changed, and check those out and see which one is the root source of the problem. Mike Sikarski is probably our biggest pickup. He is a defensive left back, 4-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, 29 years old. I needed some help on the left side of the field, just in depth terms more than anything else. He was available, and we're paying him a lot. We're paying him £425. I kind of hedged my bets with this. I was hoping I could move a couple more players to make up for the fact we're paying him for that 425. We're paying him for that £425, yet it was not to be. Besar Gajufi is a youngster, 17 years old, 2-star current ability, 4.5 star potential ability, picked up on a free, can play the advanced midfield positions really well. And then again, let me do this real quick. If we go to reports and we go to training, we go to development, we go to training, we go to progress, and we click, like example, long shots. So here's what happened. It's 8, it's 8, it's 8. But if we click on some of the skins, if you click on them, you realize that's 8.1, that's 8.0. So if I click on flare, it's the same thing. Even though it's 15 and 15, it's actually 15.2 to 15.1. This skin doesn't really go to that in detail. And if we look at it all time, maybe there's 12 there. You know, okay, so that's 8, that's 8, that's 8. Maybe it wasn't, yeah, so I'm not worried about it. The players like this, when we're looking at them at this young age, I'm not worried about, because you're going to see a big up and down in their skills and so on and so forth. So for the moment, getting back to the payroll, we are currently £300 over. That's not so bad. And I wonder, can I make the budget adjustment here? No, I can't make the budget adjustment there. I pulled the scouting budget back as well. We're a little bit over. I'm not too upset by that. I don't think the board is too upset by that either. We've had money issues already this season. The board's had to inject £200,000 to see us through. So the one thing I did want to look at is after the schedule here, we played a bunch of friendlies. We did ourselves really well there. Then we played Cadino, and we drew with them 1-0 thanks to a Blazevsky penalty kick in the 84th minute. We absolutely thumped base in 1976. Vardar had a pair of goals. Blazevsky a goal, Petrovsky a goal, Nikolov a goal. And then Nikolov had another goal in the 60th minute. And then we took a screenshot of the squad. There we go. So this is the squad in August of 22. Now, the capture window here is a little bit bigger. If I try shrinking it down, no, it'll go to there. And actually, that's kind of where it needs to be. So it fits So this is the squad in August of 22. If I blow this up just a little bit more, so the numbers are a little bit better, we're not going to get everything over, but you'll see, you know, Vardar, their positions, their attributes match what is in the game. And then I have their age on there. So I took a screenshot in August. I took a screenshot at the beginning of December, pasted that in its own tab, and then there's a formula I use to do conditional formatting. And this is what happens. Now, you'll notice the cool thing about this formula, and I'll show you here in a minute, is that no matter where the player is, everything will follow him. The numbers all filter out that way. So if I go here and sort ascending, they all match. You know, Petrovsky has no changes. Well, he went up 1 in leadership. Actually, I'm going to shrink this down a little bit just so we kind of have an overview of what's going on. So, as expected, the older player, you know what, we're going to sort by age now. As expected, it's the older players who are falling off the most. I have a couple of youngsters who are falling off, but that's to be expected, especially this early on. And frankly, this is one of those cases where if we look at Marjan Ristov, his crossing is now a 7. If we look at him back in August, Marjan, you know what, let me just sort here by age. I'm already doing that. His crossing was an 8. I suspect his crossing was an 8 and it went down to a 7.9, and that's why it fell. Now, what I like about this is the fact that almost all the players I started training out at the beginning of the year on a quickness and then strength and endurance have all gone up. There's a lot of green going on there. The other place I'm really liking is on some of the players like Partalko. He has gotten a decent amount of playing time, and as a result, a lot of his skills have gone up as well. Now, Misevsky has not gotten a lot of playing time. That's why a lot of his skills have gone down. And, you know, young players, their skills are going to vary the first year or two. They'll dip, they'll go down, they'll come back up again. It's always happened like that. No matter what I've done training-wise, the last 4 versions of the games I've played, it's always happened that way. So even though I have Ristov as a 22B, meaning he should be, I think he's going to be a pretty good player. And if we look at his attributes, what I'm seeing here is that they say they've gone down, but the arrows aren't there, which does lead me to believe, if we look at his development and his training progress, it's literally one of those cases where it went from like a 14 to a 13. So that was 14.0, now it's 13.9 sort of thing. So like crossing was the one we were looking at earlier, I believe. Yeah, so it started out as an 8 and went down to a 7. Now it's at a 7. You know, I'm not too upset by that. It's if any red shows up that I would start being worried about. And what'll happen there is, as an example, let me pull the spreadsheet up on my system here real quick. So like say, as an example, Blazevsky went down from a 14 to a 12. That'll show up as red. So, and it's a good way to visually look at a player and see where they improved and where they haven't. Now, the key to this is conditional formatting. This is LibreOffice. It's a little bit different than Excel, but you have your formatting, you have your conditional formatting, and then you have your formula. And so what you're looking at is it going to pull the formula up? It doesn't look like it is. Why is that? Do I have to do another window capture? I do have to do another window capture. That is really odd. So this is the, I'll pull this down in the center here. This is the conditional formatting. And in this case, it says, look at C2. If C2 is less than a VLOOKUP of A2 on August of 2022, which is the previous tab, from A2 to AL99, so it's taking into account everything there, then you have this column, parentheses, 0, and then -1. Now, I'm not quite sure why the formula works this way, but when you set it up originally as a 0, that's already subtracting 1. If you set it up as a +1, that actually adds 2. If you set it up as a 0 where your number is greater than, that already adds 1. So that's where this light green is coming from. And there's a certain order to this. You have to put this in the correct order. Otherwise, if it sees something that's +2, but you have your +1 formula at the top, it'll put it as a +1, even though it is +2. So there's a reason why it's -2 +2 -1 +1. So what it's doing, it's comparing the number in C2 to the VLOOKUP at A2, and it doesn't matter where this name appears. It'll compare it to the previous tab. As long as that name appears in the previous tab, once it does, it will start going column by column and comparing the numbers. Where that number is 1 less, it goes yellow. If it's 2 less, it goes red. If it's 1 more, it goes light green. If it's 2 more, it goes dark green. And that to me is the easiest way to look at it and say, okay, these are where my players are falling short. These are where I need to train them up. Now, for the moment, I was concentrating on their physicals, everybody's physicals. And the fact that these guys down here at the bottom are falling off, I'm not very concerned about that because they're the oldest guys on the squad. And chances are they're not going to be here next year. What I'm looking for is improvements. And that is where they're improving due to the weekly training we're doing and the game time they're getting. So Aaron Pertalko is a prime example of he's improving a little bit in a lot of categories because he's getting a decent amount of playing time. Now, his increases in stamina and strength are due to his personal training. His increases out here are due to what he's doing on the field. Same thing with Murkoff. Is there one who's got a combination of both? Not so much. Marzan Ristov has not played. We'll take a look at him real quick here. He's been playing in the under-18s league. He has 7 goals and 9 assists. So he's getting playing time. It's just, I don't know that it's quality playing time. I mean, my under-18 squad is absolutely dominating their particular league. So maybe he's not getting the quality playing time he needs. Now, next year, I'll work him in and he will start getting some more playing time. I'm thinking about moving over to center mid. I'm wondering, let me check this out here real quick. We're going to train him on that just to see how he improves. At this point, at this early on, I'm okay with doing this. If he was a little bit older, I'd keep him as a winger. The fact that he's kind of he's awkward at the center mid position means he can definitely improve there. And if his skill set fits the position, and I'm wondering why this is not highlighting. Why is that not highlighting? It must be a thing with the skin. Yeah, it's a thing with the skin. So I have to go and check out what the deep line playmaker is. So you know what? Let me check out what Oliver Piev. He is a deep line playmaker. So it's first touch passing technique. You know what? Let me take a screenshot of this real quick. So it's first touch passing technique, composure, decision making, teamwork, and vision. So if we go back to Hristov, his first touch of 10 fits the position. His passing of 7 is a bit on the low side. His technique of 13 is good. His composure needs to come up. His decision making needs to come up. His teamwork and vision, his vision definitely needs to come up. And then they say balance is key to a deep line. Well, that's a secondary attribute for a deep line playmaker. So this definitely needs to come up as well. So instead of looking at defensive, like say I want to increase his vision and get a jump on that. And we also want to increase his positioning. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at vision passing technique, finishing long shots technique, composure decision-making, off-the-ball anticipation, decision-making, defensive positioning. So it's marking, positioning, and decisions. And his decisions need to come up as well. So we'll leave him on defensive positioning. That'll bring up his positioning and decisions, and then we can switch that out to one that'll work on his vision and stuff like that. So that's what we have going on there. We're going to pause the game here. At least we're going to pause the cast here. And then what we're going to do is come back for, how long have I been talking? Almost 18 minutes. And some of that I can edit out. What we're going to do is come back for the first TEDx game of our Cup semifinal. Then we'll have a little bit of a break. We'll come back then and play the second part of the semifinal and probably Ohrid. Yeah, we'll play Ohrid because they're currently in 4th place. We're still dominating the league. I think it's a given that we're going to win it. I mean, I don't see us absolutely falling off, especially the way our defense has been playing. But stranger things have happened in FM. So we're going to save the game here. I want to pause the recording. And when we come back, it's going to be our first semifinal leg against TEDx in just a bit. And it is the youth intake. This is my first time looking at it. Looks like we have 2 elite talents, 3 top talents, a few good talents, some decent talents. And you know what? We'll take a look at them here. So first up, Victor Petrovsky. 1.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential ability, midfielder. He's a deep line playmaker. Holy cow. He could be starting next year. We need to improve his bravery, but yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to call him. I got to check the year. Set his nickname as 22A. We're going to offer him a contract. So next up, Lagoya Alexaski, a defensive center back. 1 star current ability, 5 star potential ability. Not bad. I love the 17 bravery. 11 tackling, 7 marking. That's not too bad. 10 positioning's good. 8 concentration. 6'5", 171 pounds. Jumping reach of 14. Needs to work on his heading. We are also going to call him 22A. Let's see here. Why are you only going for a one? Okay, you know what? You only want a 1-year contract? I don't know what the heck is going on with him. Okay. Okay, next up, Momir Kisic. 1 star current ability, 3.5 star potential ability, midfielder in the center. Good natural fitness, horrible strength, horrible agility. Again, 15 years old. 19 player, 3rd league standard. I don't know. It's an awful lot of red there. Okay, we got Kisic signed to a contract. We made him a 22B. Alexander Tisevsky, 1 star current ability, 4 star potential ability, defensive left back. Okay, for 15 years old, this isn't bad physically. The 5 strength can definitely come up. Needs work on his heading. Mentally, he's pretty darn solid. Technically, he's about where you would expect him to be. We're going to call him a 22B as well. And if we run out of space, we can just shorten their first name. Adam Griffin Watton, Gibraltar. Okay, he's got to be Macedonian as a second nationality then. Striker. It's got some interesting numbers there. 13 finishing, 11 first touch, 9 technique, 11 anticipation, 12 composure, 9 off the ball. Not just screens advance forward. Guess what I'm wondering is information. Based in North Macedonia. Nationality, Gibraltar. Place of birth, Gibraltar. Language spoken. 2,920. Let me see here. 2,920 divided by 365. That's 8 years to get citizenship. But it says 1232. Trained in North Macedonia, 841 days left. Days to eligibility, 1825. So if we go back to that, so 1825 divided by 365 is 5 years. So he is 15. Okay, here's where it's going to come in. Here's where this is going to get interesting. Okay, I guess I can sign. Well, this is wild. It must be because he came through our system. Squad cannot have any foreign players. So I can sign him. I just can't play him. It's going to be interesting. We'll take a look at Stephon Babunski here. One and a half star current or half star current ability, 3 star potential ability. And we're calling him Babunski 22D. Go ahead and get him signed. And the others I will leave alone for the moment and see what they look like at the end of the transfer window. So, not the best youth intake. I think Petrovsky and Alexaski are going to be decent players. If I had to guess, probably in the 100 to 120 range, maybe a little bit higher. Depends on how well they train. Petrovsky definitely has some potential, though. He could get some playing time next year if I really needed him to. I just need to get his bravery in that up. So, take care of that. We're going to save this here real quick, and we'll come back with the game at TEDx in just a bit. Well, we are playoff bound. We beat TEDx in our league game by the skin of our teeth. They missed a 92nd minute penalty shot, and we drew with them. That's this game right here. After we beat Silex 3-1 and Karabi 3-2. The defense is doing really well. Grozdanovsky picked up an injury earlier. And I think he just came back. Check something out here real quick. Yeah, he just came back from injury, but he's not anywhere near match fit or anything like that. In his place, Matic has really stepped up. Now, I'm not normally a huge fan of starting a 16-year-old. But so far, in 5 appearances, he has 5 goals. A 7.28 rating. Non-competitively, in the under-18s league, he's absolutely dominating at 30 goals and 9 assists. He's filled in admirably. So he's done a really good job. So at TEDx here, we've got 2 off days, and we got the Cup semifinal first leg. So we'll be back with that here in just a second. I did not realize this. This skin has a hidden attribution. I'm not a fan of this. Okay, just a second here. Okay, let's see what happens when we try this one. I can understand why some players want to play with the potential attributes and stuff like that, and the hidden attributes there. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. This is the Fusion skin. It's from the Italian Fusion group. Played around with it a little bit. I was using it before I found the cat skin. So I'll fix some things here real quick. The TEDx took us down to the wire in the league game. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, it took a 90-second missed penalty kick for us to squeak the draw out. And there's TEDx. There we are. Possession. Possession. Passing, we're probably really good. Lots of passes. Accurate passing. Crossing, we're really good. Although TEDx is really good too. Team defending, we should be dominating. Although they're doing pretty good there too. So, I mean, we do have our work cut out for us. They're a good squad. Now, Vardar got called up to the Macedonia under-19, so he is not eligible to play today. That is both good news and bad news. Nikolaev is injured, so he is not available. Alevsky is the backup striker. I don't know that I'm a fan of that. At the same time, I don't know what other options I have. Okay. So we got Kasevsky in goal, Sikarski, Stoyanov, Miskovsky, and Glisic as the defensive back four. Misevsky is the ball-winning midfielder with Piev and Piev in front of him. Kajupi and Blazevsky up top as the attacking mids with Grozdanovsky as the striker. Going somewhere? Looks like they have these screens up on permanent. Mitrov. Kasevsky, a very nice stop. Grozdanowski heads it forward, but there's no one there. Angelikov picks it up for Tedix. Holds it up, bombs it forward. Miskovsky, nice first touch. Stoyanov. Miskovsky, up to Misevsky. Piev. Sikarski. Jufy. Sikarski back to Stoyanov. Sikarski to Piev. Back to Sikarski. Up to Gajufy. Double teamed. He gets the ball back to Sikarski. Stoyanov. Piev turns around, feeds Grozdanowski. Grozdanowski, Plasevsky. Plasevsky to Oliver Piev. Back and forth. Piev, a long shot. Wow, what a strike. Holy cow. Grozdanowski sent it back to Piev, and he just one-shot it. That was just wild. That's easily goal of the season worthy there. Just before halftime, too. We go in with a 1-0 lead. So let's see how we can do in the second half. We got 10 shots, 4 on target. Let's see. No woodwork hits, no clear-cut chances, 1 half chance. Muslimi's dispossessed by Gajufy. Holds it up, gets it back to Piev. Sikarski to Misevsky. Misevsky to Piev, tries taking a shot, bounces it off a Tedix player. Misevsky for Tedix, picks the ball up. We win the header. Gajufy back to Misevsky, over to Piev. Glisic to Plasevsky. Oh, gets by the defender, takes the shot, and he scores. I think the keeper probably should have done a better job there. Nice big screen TV in the corner. Oh, Plasevsky just tapped it between the defender's legs, and then the keeper just half-assed it. There's no other way to put it. I think that's one of those cases where the animation doesn't reflect what the keeper actually did. Ball's knocked away off the free kick. Glisic picks it up. Over to Piev. Miskovsky. Out to Glisic. He centers it in. Piev's there, but he heads it over the crossbar. Coming up on 60 minutes here, we'll probably make at least 1 sub. Get Piev off. Plasevsky and Jelikov, a very nice save. You know what? I think we're just going to get Piev off now. We'll bring Adononsky on for him. No highlights since that last one. 80 minutes in the game. They've really stopped trying, it seems. Gosevsky. Headed back and forth. Glisic finally runs down the ball. Gets it up to Plasevsky. Centers it to Misevsky. Back pass to Glisic. Over to Plasevsky. Piev. Tries to get into Grozdanowski's, but he's dispossessed. Zoglev. To Skoko. Back to Gulovsky. He sends it long. Stoyanov heads it down. Piev picks it up. Glisic. Miskovsky. Up to Grozdanowski. He drops it off. He's fouled. Statorsky's off. And that is a match. A very nice 2-0 away victory in our game against Tedix. I think what we're going to do... Well, first we're going to play Plasevsky. Pasko Piev. He'll miss the second game. Too many yellow cards. We are going to save this here. And then what we're going to do is come back for... We're going to play Gosvar and Voska Sport offline. Then we're going to come back for Tedix. And then, assuming we win that, we'll probably play through the rest and then do the final and then play through the rest of the season with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 21 points to be given up. We'd have to lose every game, and Gostivar would have to win every game. So if we win the next game, I'm fairly sure we clinch the league. So, and if that happens, we'll just play the cup games and go from there. So the board is, there's still rumors of a transfer or the board being taken over, the board being replaced, the club being bought, and those have gone away and then they crop back up again. So I don't know what's going to happen. The offseason is definitely going to be interesting, but we'll deal with that in the next episode. A good win for us. The youth intake was okay. We have a couple players with some potential, a couple other players that could turn into something. I'm really kind of looking forward to that. We're doing well in the cup. I wish we could get more people in the stands. We start winning again on a regular basis, and that's going to happen. The TV money from the semifinal and possibly the final should do us well, because budget-wise, we had to get a cash injection from the club to stay afloat. So that's my mistake there. So, but we're doing well. We're doing better than I expected we would. The fact we're still unbeaten is just absolutely mind-blowing. I would have figured we would have lost a game by now. And having said it out loud, watch us lose this game at Tex. So that said, if you did like what you see and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticism, comments. Leave those down below. I'd be interested in your feedback on the spreadsheet and the youth intake. Let me know what you all think. And thanks for stopping by. My name is FM22. I thank you for watching.